The moment the heavy iron door slammed shut behind me, the cold reality hit like a punch to the gut. This wasn't just any detention room. This was the place. The scariest level of discipline you could ever imagine. The kind of place whispered about in school hallways, where even the toughest kids wouldn't dare to step. And now I was trapped inside. I'd always thought discipline was about rules, maybe a stern teacher or a timeout. But this was something else entirely. The air was thick with tension, the walls lined with dark, peeling paint that seemed to absorb every sound. No windows, no clocks. Just a single flickering fluorescent light buzzing overhead, casting long, eerie shadows that danced like ghosts. I tried to steady my breathing, but my heart was pounding so loud I was sure everyone could hear it. The silence was suffocating, broken only by the distant, echoing footsteps of the wardens, those faceless enforcers of this nightmare. They didn't speak. They didn't smile. They just watched. Always watching. I was here because I'd broken the rules. Not just a little, but enough to be sent to this place. The rumors said no one ever came out the same. Some never came out at all. I wanted to believe it was just stories, but now, standing here, I wasn't so sure. The first thing they did was strip away everything that made me me. My phone, my watch, my jacket, gone. I was left in a plain, scratchy uniform that felt like prison garb. Then came the rules, delivered in a voice so cold it sent chills down my spine. No talking, no eye contact, no movement without permission. You will obey every command. Failure to comply will result in consequences. Consequences. The word echoed in my mind like a death sentence. The door opened again and a tall figure stepped in. His face was hidden behind a mask, but his eyes, sharp, unblinking, pierced right through me. He handed me a small worn notebook and a pen. You will write. Every thought, every feeling, every regret. This is your only outlet. Do not stop until told. I nodded, swallowing the lump in my throat. The door slammed shut once more, and I was alone with my thoughts and the oppressive silence. At first I tried to resist. I stared at the blank page, willing the words not to come. But the silence was too loud, the fear too deep. Slowly the pen began to move, scratching out my story, my mistakes, my fears, my hopes for escape. Days blurred into nights, or maybe it was nights into days. Time lost all meaning here. The only thing that kept me sane was the notebook. Writing became my lifeline, a way to hold on to my identity as the walls closed in, but the discipline was relentless. Every infraction, no matter how small, was met with punishment. Sometimes it was silence, hours of forced stillness, unable to even blink without permission. Other times, it was the cold isolation chamber, a tiny box within the room where the air was thin and the darkness absolute. One night, after what felt like an eternity, I heard a faint whisper. At first I thought it was my imagination, but then it came again, a soft, desperate voice calling my name. I froze, heart racing. Was I losing my mind? The voice grew louder, more urgent. I followed it, crawling along the floor to a hidden crack in the wall I hadn't noticed before. Through the narrow gap I saw another prisoner, eyes wide with fear but burning with defiance. "We're not alone," she whispered. "There's a way out." But it's dangerous. Hope surged through me like electricity. For the first time since I arrived, I felt a spark of rebellion. Maybe this scariest level of discipline wasn't just about breaking us down. Maybe it was about breaking us open. Together we began to plan. Every day we exchanged secret messages through the cracks, sharing what little we knew about the warden's routines, the layout of the place, the hidden weaknesses in the system. The discipline tried to crush us, but it only made us stronger. We learned to move silently, to communicate without words, to trust each other in a place designed to destroy trust. Then came the night of the escape. The wardens were distracted by a staged disturbance in another wing. The flickering light overhead went out, plunging the room into darkness. Heart pounding, I slipped through the shadows, following the secret path we'd discovered. Every step was a gamble. One wrong move and we'd be caught, sent to the isolation chamber or worse. But the fear was nothing compared to the hope burning inside me. We reached the final door, the last barrier between us and freedom. It was locked, but the guard's keys were within reach. I held my breath, waiting for the moment to strike. Then a sudden noise, a creak, a whisper of movement. The wardens were coming back. "Go!" the girl hissed, shoving the keys into my hand. I fumbled with the lock, hands shaking. The door clicked open just as the footsteps grew louder. We slipped through, hearts pounding, into the cold night air. Freedom tasted sweeter than I ever imagined. But the scars of that place stayed with me. The fear, the silence, the relentless discipline that tried to break me. I learned something in that scariest level of discipline. It wasn't just about punishment. It was about control, about stripping away everything until all that was left was raw, desperate survival. But it was also about resistance, about finding strength in the darkest places, about refusing to be broken. And that's a lesson I'll carry with me forever.